Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Rocket Shop. My name is Philip and today I'm going to give you a quick update on when Starship is able to launch to orbit for the very first time. I already did a similar video back in February of this year, but as we know Starship, much has changed since back then. So where are we at with now and what has still to be done? In case you haven't watched the old video, here's a quick summary of what has to be accomplished to launch a fully stacked Starship. Of course, you need a vehicle, a super heavy booster with 29 Raptor engines and a lot of wiring and plumbing. And you need a Starship with 3 more Raptors and 3 vacuum Raptors together with a complete thermal protection system made out of TPS tiles on the leeward side of the vehicle. Apart from a vehicle, you also need ground support equipment consisting of a launch mount, a propellant depot, and a mechazilla. That's how SpaceX calls the launch tower with some extras. I won't go in depth into mechazilla in this video since there's a dedicated video about this thing coming very soon. Let's start with the vehicle. What are we still missing at Ship 20 and Booster 4 for an orbital launch? Well, in terms of hardware, we are almost done. Ship 20 needs a few TPS tiles replaced and Booster 4 should be ready for some action. But just having completed building the vehicles doesn't mean they are ready to go. SpaceX always performs an extensive series of tests to ratify the vehicle's readiness for flight. Those tests typically include an ambient pressure test, multiple cryogenic pressure tests, and multiple static fires. Booster 4 will likely go through at least one ambient pressure test, 1 or 2 cryo-proof tests, and a control systems test before conducting static fires. For the static fires, we don't know the planned number yet, but the most likely order of static fires would be one with just 3 to 4 engines, a second one with the inner 9, and one final static fire lighting up all 29 Raptors at once. Ship 20 has a similar schedule. It has to conduct an ambient pressure test, 1 or more cryogenic tests, and then static fires. Most likely, SpaceX is going to perform 3 static fires as well on this vehicle. In the past, SpaceX has always fired the 3 center engines at once, so that's what they're probably going for first. Other than the previous ships, number 20 also has got 3 vacuum engines, so it makes sense to test those 3 as well in a second static fire and maybe even all 6 engines at once in a third one. As of the making of this video, Booster 4 hasn't conducted any tests yet, so it is not even on the launch mount for the installment of Mechazilla's chopsticks. Ship 20, on the other hand, has already passed the ambient pressure test as well as the first cryo-proof test. During the cryo-proof test, Ship 20 also test-fired its RCS thrusters and vents, leading to the oxygen helo tank vent blowing off multiple TPS tiles in the process, requiring some repairs. As you can see, there's still many tests to conduct until Starship is finally able to go orbital. But at least for the ground support equipment, we are almost there. The launch tower is nearing completion once the 2 chopsticks of Mechazilla are attached and the orbital propellant farm is missing just one more GSE tank, which is currently being installed while I'm speaking here. Another important piece that is missing is the Starship fueling adapter on the QD arm, but that thing is going to be installed really soon as well. But apart from their own readiness, there's another factor that could delay the flight drastically. To launch a rocket, you need to acquire a license from the Federal Aviation Administration, and SpaceX hasn't acquired their licenses for orbital launches yet. In late September, the FAA released their draft environmental review, in which they assess the environmental impact of Starship launches and especially of the requested launch licenses. This draft environmental review is open for public comment until the 18th of October of 2021. The FAA will wait at least until they have completed reviewing all those comments and then grant SpaceX the licenses. Depending on the amount of negative comments, This process could take anywhere between a week or multiple months. SpaceX has already launched unlicensed before, and let's say the FAA wasn't happy about that, so it would be better to not do it again. And there is still a possibility of Blue Origin or Amazon filing a heck of lawsuits against the launch that could delay it even further. I personally believe that the limiting factor won't be the completion of the vehicle's test program, but rather legal issues involving the FAA and security measures. Looking at the typical duration of SpaceX's test campaigns, the vehicle could be able to go in about 3 to 4 weeks, meaning the flight could happen in late October or early November. But FAA approval will probably take a lot longer and push the first orbital flight attempt back to maybe late November or even early December, marking the 1 year anniversary of the SN8 prototype flight. And that's already it for this video. Let me know in the comments when you think Starship's first orbital flight will happen, and if you enjoyed the video, which I really hope you did, why don't you hit the like button and subscribe to the Rocket Hub. If you do so, thank you for that. We see ourselves in the next video, and until then, I'm out. Cheers!